Hey everybody, in this new series, we're going to talk about a lot of things strat, specifically actionable trading plans that are built with the strat's universal truths, and then how we can use the scanner or any market scanner to find the signals and trade the plan. And these plans are constantly repeating on a cyclical basis. It's like every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. So if you're going to find consistency in these plans is where you're going to find it. The first thing we're going to cover is how to create winning trades. And before we jump into it, we just need to know that this is not a video that's introductory to the strat. This is more like, how do we apply the strat? So if you're looking for what is the strat, how do I trade it, what are the universal truths, check out the description. I will have a link down there to a 3.5-hour live stream we did covering the whole strat strategy that gives you a really good foundation before you jump into this. So let's dive into how to create winning positions. The first thing is we use what we call actionable signals. And you should already know most of these, but we'll just take a look at two of them and go into some examples here. So the first is going to be inside bar signals and reversals. So when we talk about an actionable signal, what it means is this. This inside bar, when this bar is completely inside the previous range, occurs, when it forms and closes out, that is the signal. So before this bar even exists, we delete that. This is still a signal. And then the break of that signal, so in this case, breaking the lows of that inside bar, is when we take action. So it's called an actionable signal because it tells you, hey, look at me. This is a setup. And then when it breaks, it tells you to take action. And it will cause price movement. Our signals cause movement. So we can take this as a reversal. You can see to the upside or reversal to the downside. We can also have 3-1-2s, which are the same thing, inside bars to the upside or inside bars to the downside. And then 2-2 reversals. We're going to see 2-2 reversals are similar, except it's not an inside bar. What we look for is 2 down in green. So in this case, you'll see this bar here is a 2 down, taking the previous bar's lows, and it closes green. That is the signal, right? It's telling us it's close to reversing. Then when it breaks above that, that is the actionable part, right? So we take action there above the black line. And we're always targeting the green line. And you'll see that across all these charts. Same thing to the downside. 2 up, followed by a 2 to the downside. We take action below this black line. We tend to have our stops right up in here, as you see. And we target the green line. So these are 2 of the most common things that will happen. We tell newer traders that know the strat to just trade 2-2 reversals. And if you just learn the strat, just trade 2-2 reversals. It's going to account for 80% of the breaks that occur in the market that are actionable. So now how do we create winning positions? Well, these are designed to do that. So if you just do this, you will tend to create a winner about 55 to 60% of the time. And that is just from my experience. There's been some data analysis done. We do plan on doing more, but it's about 50-50, 60-40 as far as will you make a winning trade when you trade a 2-2 reversal that looks anything like these two. We want to pair this with something else though. We want to pair this with the broadening formation. And what that is this. So if we go to the energies today, you'll see this morning there was a 2 down, hammer, 2 up, reversal. So we know this 2 down, it wasn't green, but it was a hammer, which is another form of reversal we look for. Tells us to take action above 87.80, and you'll see it just takes off right away. This is paired with the fact that we've made new lows. So if we find this signal and we look left, you'll see we made new lows to this low, we made new lows to this low. So we want to time the signals off of new lows where this signal occurs and then it goes back through the previous range, taking out these highs and these highs, these highs and these highs. So we want new lows plus the bullish reversal. We can also look for bearish reversals the same way. So Z-scaler today, you'll see the inside bar actionable signal, which tells us we should be looking at this the next day. And this is paired with new highs. So you'll see they make new highs to the previous highs, form the actionable signal, break down as a 3, 1, 2 to the downside below this, where we take action, and then it pukes, right? So this is how we create winners. We want new highs and new lows paired with these actionable signals. We're going to spend the rest of this just looking at a few examples. These were 2 from today. Here's another one from today. This is slightly different. You're going to see we made the new low. We did not have an actionable signal here. We just had an outside bar. However, we did form this hammer 2-2 reversal signal to the upside after these new lows. So we don't have to make the new low and then form it right away. Although we prefer that, we can make the new low and then form it a few bars after. And that'll be just as powerful because we're still taking a 2-2 reversal in this case, and we're going back through a previous range of pivots or highs to take out. So we can target this, we can target this, we can target this, all the way up and left. So you'll see new lows paired with the signal. If we look left, we're going to see another example of this. You'll see we make new highs paired with the same 2-2 reversal signal, reversal down. And notice we can target what? To take this out, to take this out, to take this out, and to take this out. So we're going to create winning positions when we do this. The common mistake most traders will make is they will try and take signals into new highs or into new lows, which we can do. However, you are less likely to create a winning position if you're buying into new highs and selling into new lows because of what we've just shown you. We tend to make new lows in reverse. We tend to make new highs in reverse. So let me show you some more examples. NVIDIA. You will see on the monthly basis, we made new lows, 2 down, and then it was green, right? This was a hammer. So we knew to go after this. And our take action break was right here. So the break of this signal above 115.10. And we have a previous range to go back through. So we have targets to take this out, to take this out, to take this out. You'll see we go all the way to the other side of the range. We go to hood on a monthly basis. You'll see the 2 down in green. Notice we don't have a swing low. So we don't have this really obvious lower low in here. But did we take out this previous low and this previous low? We did. So this is still of the same feather, or it's of the same type of setup. We just don't have a swing low in here. However, this 2 down in green, followed by the 2-2 reversal, is still a signal we look for, and we're still back through a previous range. So you'll see we have this to target, this to target. If we zoom out, all-time highs to target. So you'll see, pairing that signal, we have slightly lower lows, this signal, and then back through a previous range. This is how we create winning positions. And we can just keep going. SPY, you'll see in here, new lows on the monthly basis, paired with the hammer 2-2 reversal signal, new highs. If we go to semiconductors on the month, new lows, right? Really obvious, hammer signal, 2-2 reversal, new highs. And you'll see, this is what allows us to not take losers. Because if we go look at this, you'll see all of this, right? Doji, 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 just opening and closing right at the same spot. This occurs below this high and above this low. So we wait. Then once the new low occurs, then we start trading. So that's how we want to think about this. If we go to ASML, you'll see new lows paired with the 2-2 reversal signal, then back to the highs. So it's always going to look very similar. Now, this does not mean you have to have a signal in order for it to make new highs and then fail, or new lows and then fail. So just for example, you'll see we make new highs here, and then we reverse, and then we continue lower. There wasn't a signal per se, but it did reverse. And if we were to go into like a weekly chart, 2-week chart, there's going to be signals up in here that cause that, because the signals cause movement. So we look for the signal and we pair it with that. If we have no signal, we're going to need lower time frame signals, which we'll get into the future. But just understanding this is very important. So let's just go and take a look at some more examples. So on a really small basis, we go to the 15-minute on Roblox today. You're going to see if we look left, right? We made new highs here. We made new highs here. Followed by the shooter signal. When this reverses, we are back through a previous range and we have targets to go after. So again, creating winning positions. New highs plus the signal back through a previous range. And you'll see it speeds up. So something we'll talk about in future videos. And then you'll see we call this country western, where we can do this both ways. We have the 2 down in green, then the reversal, and we make more money the other way. So we can short it here, cover that short, and we could buy it up in here or buy it here. This one would have stopped us out for a small loss. But hopefully you see how this works. If you want to study this more, go and check out my nightly videos. We post these signals as they set up, and you can go see what had happened on those signals after we talked about them. And if you have access to the Strat Alert scanner by going to app.stratalerts.ai, this is where we're going to be able to find the signals. And we'll talk a lot about this throughout this series. So what we can do, if you have this, is we can go into calendar mode and we can go to previous days and look for these signals. So if we're looking for 2 down in green or 2 up in red signals, we can go to yesterday and we can look for anything 2 down in green. You'll see there's going to be a lot of names, 85 of them. And then how we can filter that out is we can look at higher time frame charts. We can look at time frame continuity, all these other things, which we're not going to cover here. But what we can show you is what some of those signals did. So if we look at the quarter and we just go to the things greenest in here, let's just say HXL or Shack. You'll see HXL had the 2 down in green in here Wednesday night or Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, it reversed to the upside to create a winning position, right? Now in this case, did it have a big lower low? It did not, but it did take out some previous lows. So we just didn't have, the perfect setup, but this is still going to work. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to dive into more in future videos. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. There should be like 20 to 30 videos coming out. So see you guys there.